I've been a bad Jeep Gladiator owner. I've had this Jeep Gladiator now for a few months, and I have never put it into four-wheel drive. So we're going to get out on the road, that's right, on pavement, in a straight line, and we're going to test it out, how to put the Jeep Gladiator into four-wheel drive. And let me say, according to the manual, you're supposed to do this once a month to keep everything in there lubricated, because you don't want to have to depend on four-wheel drive when you really need it, have never used it, go to put it in, and it doesn't work. Let's hop in and see how it works. Okay, real quick, I'm going to run through the steps. My Jeep Gladiator did not come with a manual, by the way, so if yours didn't either, this is how you do it. I've looked it up, and this is what AI says to do. How to use four-wheel drive high. This mode provides more traction for slippery conditions like snow or wet roads at higher speeds. Personally, I would never use it in rain unless it was real severe, like monsoon rain, you know. It says here, release the accelerator, take your foot off the gas. So you can be moving. You don't have to shift into neutral or anything for the transmission. Move the lever, and they're talking about the four-wheel drive selector lever. I'll show you that in a minute. It says, move the lever, firmly pull the transfer case lever, or the 4x4 selector lever, into 4 high position. Confirm the engagement. The four-wheel drive light on your dashboard will illuminate to confirm you are in 4 high. We'll test that and see. How to use four-wheel drive low. This is a little more involved. Slow to a near stop. Your vehicle should be moving at about 1 to 3 miles per hour. So you do want to be coasting. Shift to neutral. Put your transmission into neutral. Now this is your gear selector, not your 4x4 selector. Move the lever to 4 low. Pull the transfer case lever, or the 4x4 selector lever, straight back and then firmly down, passing through the neutral position. Confirm the engagement. The four-wheel drive light on the dash will stop blinking. So it's going to blink until it engages, I suppose. Shift back to drive. Put your transmission back into drive. I'm talking about the gear selector now because you're still in neutral. Drive slowly. Do not exceed 25 miles per hour in 4 low. And once again, you're supposed to do this at least once a month, to make sure you keep everything lubricated. So let's take off, get out somewhere where we can do this, and we'll give it a shot. Real quick, this obviously is your gear selector, what you use every day when you go for a ride. And this is the four-wheel drive selector. You've got 2 high, which is all the way up, which is what normal driving is. 4 high, which is 1 notch down. And then you've got neutral, and then you go into 4 low, pulling the lever firmly back each time. Now, when you're going into 4 high, you don't want to pull it so firmly that you bypass everything and go down into neutral or 4 low. So just kind of feel for the notches as you're doing this. Okay, here we go. I'm in an open area where I'm safe, and I'm going to just start rolling, and I'm going to go ahead and pull back. Wow, and there's actually a car coming this way. Nobody comes this way. All right, we're going to start rolling, and I'm going to pull back to shift into 4 high. Now listen to see if we hear any clunks or clanks or anything weird like that. So here we go. I'm going to get rolling about 5 miles an hour in this case, and I'm going to go down to high. And you see it says four-wheel drive right now on the dash. I did take my foot off the gas, and right now we are in 4 high. Now, I know everybody has problems with going into four-wheel drive when you're on pavement. As long as you're going straight and you're going at a normal speed, it's not really an issue. But that's how we go to 4 high. Now, how do we go back? Well, we're coasting along. I'm going to take my foot off the gas. You can see we're moving. Take my foot off the gas, and I'm going back up, just like that. And you can see the four-wheel drive indicator on the screen has gone away. Now we're going to turn around and we're going to try the same thing, except this time we're going to go to 4 low. And remember, we've got to shift the transmission into neutral. So I'm going to start moving again, less than 3 miles an hour, but not stopped. So I'm just kind of coasting. I'm going to go to neutral. Now I'm going to go down to 4 low. Okay, there's 4 high. Now over and down into 4 low, and we got a beep, and it says on the dash here we're in 4 low. Now we've got to go back to drive. Got to have your foot on the brake, by the way. And now we're moving in 4 low, again less than 25 miles an hour, and you can kind of feel the loss in power, if you will, while we're in 4 low. Now we're going to go back to 4 high, I guess, and then on up into regular drive. So we're going to go back to neutral. As you can see there, I'm going to push up, and you could hear it there. And right now I'm in neutral. Now we're going to go to, let's see, 4 high, and we just went all the way up to regular drive, I guess. So now we're going to go back to drive. Foot on the brake, back to drive. And now everything is back to normal and no issues. And honestly, I didn't really hear that big clank that I thought I was going to hear when I went to 4-wheel drive. I know in the past, for me, a lot of times when I've done it, I've really felt it click in or engage. Really, in any 4-wheel drive vehicle that I've ever had, this was probably the smoothest that I've ever done. And maybe that's because I was prepared. You know, I knew I had to put some force into pulling the selector for 4-wheel drive down. I don't know, but it did work really smoothly. I guess the key here is to pay attention to your speeds. And by the way, in 4-wheel drive high, or 4H, doesn't seem like you really have to worry about speed once you're in. If you're in the right conditions to be using 4 high, then I think you're fine. Obviously, again, with 4 low, you want to make sure that you don't exceed 25 miles an hour. And 4 low, I mean, that's really if you're in a tough environment, you know, a lot of heavy, thick mud, or maybe ice or snow, maybe some hilly areas, maybe a lot of rocks and ruts and things. I mean, we're talking about pretty darn severe conditions to be in 4 low. I would think 4 high is probably the most that I think a normal driver would ever need. Leave a comment down below and let me know. Do you shift your Jeep Gladiator, or if you've got some other 4-wheel drive vehicle, into 4-wheel drive once a month at least to make sure that you keep everything lubricated? Or are you like, I think it's 96% of 4x4 owners, never touch that selector to go into 4-wheel drive? I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.